questions.
How's it feel?
Feels great. A great win. I thought we answered the call real well and got the W, when it mattered. And it was a big win for us, so happy we got the dub.
Jackson, is that an RPO call there for you guys on that play? And when you see the ball start coming your way, what are you hoping to do with it?
Yeah, it was RPO. Seen the nickel blitz. Knew I was going to get in and boo. And Gino spit it to me, and we got in the end zone.
How much confidence did you guys have that you were going to score there? I know it would have been a little tough for you guys to move the ball in the second half.
Oh, big time confidence. We work a lot, being in those situations, and for us to go out there with 2 minutes left, it felt like we've done it before, and credit to the O-line, doing an amazing job. Gino doing an amazing job, and tight ends were rolling, receivers were rolling. So yeah, it was a big part of today, and we executed real well.
How do you feel right now, Jackson?
I feel great. How you doing?
What does it say about your teammate DK that he's willing to be the lead blocker for you for a rookie on the game-winning touchdown?
Oh man, I mean, it's his touchdown just as much as it's mine, and we have to click on all cylinders to be the best, and we know that, and he preaches that, and he not only preaches that, he goes out there and do it, and it's great to see that. I got him just like he got me and the rest of the team. So just a great overall drive and win for the offense.
Jackson, the first quarter went so well for you guys offensively, and then it was a pretty big struggle from there on. How did you guys fight through that, and what wasn't working for you guys until you got the last chance?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a game of runs, and you're up, you're down, but it's just about bouncing back, getting back to that next possession, and that's what we did. I feel like we held our heads high, and we just went out there and tried to do the best we could. And, all the mistakes and all that, we'll look at them tomorrow and try to get them fixed.
What goes through your mind when you hear the play call in the huddle and you know that you're going to be in position to maybe score the game-winning touchdown?
Oh, I mean, it feels good. You just got to be ready when you're out there, when your number's called. And, I had the opportunity to, make a play. And Gino made the right read. And like I said, DK, great block. And it was just great execution.
When you caught the pass, did you know you were going outside, or you saw the block?
I didn't. Well, it was a bubble route, so I'm kind of flaring to the outside. So, I knew it was a chance. I could hit the outside, yeah.
What was the feeling like on the sidelines when Jamal tips it, Julian gets it, and all that?
Oh, it felt amazing, just knowing we sealed the win. That's when we sealed the win, right? Or
No, I meant the interception.
The interception.
the interception.
The setup, the final drive.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that was a big relief. Our defense been stepping up and been doing a great job. And, they just showed that, on that drive. Jay Love, a leader on the defense, coming up is big for us, and happy to get it done.
Is it more pressure on that or more of an opportunity? Once the interception's made, you guys are going out and out.
Oh, it's an opportunity. We rolling. We trying to win the game. You know what I'm saying? 2 minutes. Let's go. Down 3. Let's do it. Let's go score, put some points on the board, and that's what we did today.
Thank you.
bud.
Hey, it's old timers. It's old timers thing. How are you?
What are you, don't put me in there.
Yeah.
Throwback. Really big day for us. Fantastic illustration of hanging and staying in it and keeping the belief going, and giving ourselves a chance to win a football game. A beautiful illustration of that. It went all, I don't know, 30 seconds or something like that took to win a football game. To celebrate the throwbacks and all that, I hope the fans, loved it. It was fun for us, and it was a beautiful image, in the stadium and all. It was really cool to see that. We didn't talk a whole lot about it here after the game, but I know the guys really did appreciate the opportunity to do that, and I keep going back to all of the memories that everybody had. That's why they liked it so much to see it and all that, and I'm glad we could be part of that. It was really fun. Tough football game. These guys are really tough, man. They have the formula of playing great defense and running the football, and that's a formula that gives you a chance to win every time out. And I thought P.J. Walker did a really good job to keep the thing moving and keep them in position to win a game. They did some things that we needed to stop. We didn't stop as well. The screens were a big part of the game. Didn't play the running game as well as we wanted to, but pretty much average like for them. It's kind of how they do it. But all in all, Gino leading that drive, the guys keeping him clean up front so that we could throw the ball to do what we need to do to finish the game. Guys coming through with the catches. The touchdown play to win the game was a fantastic block by DK. Clean. The guy was looking right at him. That's the call that they make sometimes. I thought he did it perfectly. And Jackson got every inch out of that play just in really championship fashion. So just a lot of really cool, exciting things that happened today, and fired up about it.
It was a good example of hanging in there for the offense and Gino Smith to go through that long struggle, second, third.
Yeah, we started so well. We looked so good starting out, and we just couldn't quite find the rhythm of it, and that's because they're good. They're really good. And the fact it's a close game, has no surprise,
What's that show you to then be able to turn it on and get that drive at the end?
Yeah, that's what we love about it, because the finishing execution that gets you the win, we take great pride in that, and that's something that we're always talking about and always striving to do, and that's why I love that illustration, that we can do that. So next time we get a chance, we know that we've been there before, and so.
You see the play that got you the ball back, the interception, what'd you see on that one?
That's a great call for one. At the time, Clint made a great call to give us a chance to send Maul on the pressure. And then he had to figure out what to do with it, because there was I think the guard or some of the tackle was popping out on him, and he had to do something, and he figured out how to leave his feet and get contact on the ball, and then it was a spectacular tips and overthrows for us, and for Julian to come up and make a big play. I mean, it was, we stole the opportunity away from them with that play, and it was really guys going for it, and I was thrilled about that.
For all that Jamal's been through over the last year or so, to make a play like that in such a key moment, what do you think that?
Oh, man, this is what he lives for. He lives for these opportunities and to go for it. And when it was on the line, everything's, right there, he came up with a way to figure it out and did something that changed our fortunes in this game. And it was fantastic.
Jake Bobo's been on those jet motions, making blocks down at the goal line. What did you think about him getting the football down there?
Yeah, we kind of thought that if we hand it to him, he's going to figure out how to get in there, and he did. Wasn't perfect, but it was clean enough to get a score, and so, we continue to work him into everything that we're doing, because he's a good ball player. He needs to be part of it, and so you'll see him continue more opportunities in different kinds of ways.
You said on Metcalf's block at the end, they sometimes make that for holding.
Yeah, because when a guy goes, runs around the block, you see it on tight ends on the backside and front side as well, and he did it perfectly. He kept his hands in really tight and then released at the right time so that there was no penalty. There was nothing that was wrong with that. It was exactly the way you should do it, right when we needed it most.
As much as attention as he gets, were you surprised they didn't, even though that was a clean block, that they didn't throw it?
Yeah.
You were pretty heated at the end of the first half on the throw that Gino had intercepted. What were you upset
Yeah, I
about?
thought I've been complaining about them in the neutral zone, and I thought I had one for sure. And so, when it didn't get called, and then we turned the ball over on that same play, it would have switched that whole result around, and that's all. So I'm just kind of competing.
Jordan Brooks, another big game, had the sack, forced fumble. Just what's he been showing you the last few weeks?
He's on it. He's on his game. I mean, he's just playing great physical football. He's a fantastic linebacker. He runs and he hits and he can make things happen and all of that. We keep trying to put him in places to and just accentuate the fact that he's that kind of a factor, and he's doing great.
Kind of in a similar vein, boy him off 8 tackles, 4 QB hits. He has sacked his 5th straight game. I mean, what are you seeing from him over these last 2
That he just continues to just play really solid, consistent football. That's what he's kind of been doing it the whole time here for a month, and it's great to see. We're really relying on him, and he came through again.
To only allow 3 hits on Geno and 1 sack on 37 dropbacks today, how do you feel about the O-line's performance with it?
I thought they did great. I thought they did great today. This is the most vicious Russian football team in football, and they have had their way with a ton of teams with their front four, and we were able to keep them at bay. I don't know that we dominated anything. We held on, and we gave up 1 sack, and it was really exciting to see Jason Peters play today. I think he played about half the time. We just wanted to see what would happen when he went in there, and then we were going to decide as the game went. And he did well, so we just kind of rotated him. And that's just another boost for us to have an experienced player like that available to us. So I don't know what that means going forward at all. But anyway, I was really fired up for him. He played in an NFL football game in his 20th season. I mean, that's a remarkable accomplishment. I mean, it's so remarkable. Somebody's got to go find George Blanda's records, So, yeah, it goes back so far. So amazing.
What did you think of your running game? So it came alive at some key times.
I thought we were spotty. We had a couple big plays. Kenny had a big play. Zach looked really good at the end. I thought, when he had his opportunities. It's there. It's there. We haven't really found it to where we can really rely on it yet, but it's there, and so we just got to keep working it.
Are you surprised you guys only got 13 running back carries out of the game with the way it was kind of flowing? And kind of balanced
we had 11 in the first half. We didn't run the ball much, after that, but. We took what they were giving us, and we were protecting the passer better than we thought, so we just went with it and made some yards for us.
What about their screen game?
Oh man, yeah, they we were not surprised one bit. We practiced them all week, and they did it anyway. So I was really disappointed in that, and they had great success with it. Tight end looked great in the back. We were talking about it all game. We were on it, and they just out-executed us, and so we got to do a lot better there.
Over the last 4 second halves, your defense has only allowed 9 points. It's about a shutdown as it gets.
Good.
What do you think about that?
I'm thrilled about that. I'm thrilled about finishing halves like that. I think that's something that we can continue to call on and rely on, and it makes you really hard to beat when you play like that in the second half to finish games.
Big picture, you guys have won 5 of 6 since the opener, and you're in first place right now.
We're what?
You're in first place.
We are?
In the NFC West.
Oh. Okay.
You are in first place.
Jeez.
Well, what do you think about that? I mean, just kind of where you guys have kind of.
What week in the season is this? Week 8? Okay, so we're not quite halfway through this 17-game thing that nobody can ever get to halftime here. Halfway through, we're in pretty good shape. That's good. And we're still growing. We got out of this game. I have no names for you as far as guys getting banged up, which is incredibly good. And we just need to keep growing. It just felt like that. And I know maybe that gets old to you hearing it, but when you do another one and then another one and then another one, you're getting better. Because it's hard to stack games. And I'm thrilled that we played. Got 3 wins in a row here at home. I love that. If you're going to have a good season, you've got to play well at home. And so we've been living with that and really trying to use it as a battle cry that we got to play well here at Lumen. And so we're rolling right now at halfway.
A bunch of rookies having big performances today in the last few games. What can you say about just the infusion of talent the last 2 years, really, that's John and his guys?
Yeah, it's a little bit of an old topic for us right now because we keep hitting it, but it's a beautiful topic for us to be on because it shows the continuity of how we work and how we choose the players on the team and John's side of the world that he owns. To have the obvious success last year, come back and top it off again and figure it out again, and here we're going again. I mean, what's going to happen next time? Is what's really exciting. So it's fantastic for us. You can see rooks all over the place, and playing, contributing, and doing things. That is such a boost to us entering the second half of the season. Would this be the second half of the season now? Kind of. I mean, it's so screwed up. I mean, it used to be kind of easy, but it's not easy anymore. I don't know.
What did you think of Geno's day overall? The 2 picks. He missed a couple throws that he usually hits, but then comes through late for you.
Yeah, I mean, he's he's upset. He didn't like it. I thought he figured out a way to get us started beautifully, and we looked great. And then when it came down to it, we had to have it. He took us right down the field, and we scored, and won the game. So there's some stuff in between. There's a couple passes that look kind of off. He threw one to Jackson. Jackson stopped on the route. He screwed it up, and it looked like we threw the ball right to the other guy. That was a miscue otherwise. But he's got plays to play better. He's got some stuff, but I think he's doing. I love the way he's playing. And I love the way he's leading us.
Jamal briefly left the game. Were you guys just managing his snaps?
Yes. Yeah. We just manage his snaps. Exactly.
What's the message going into Baltimore next week?
I don't know. I don't really know. I just know they're really good. Did they win again today?
They beat the Cardinals.
Yeah. Okay. They're really good. That's all I know.
Anything else?
Okay.
Thank you.
See you.
How long did it feel like that ball was in the air when you were?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was in the air for forever. I was wondering initially how that got up there. That usually is not the rebound off of a hand. And of course, Small is jumping off his head, boo, it's in the air, and I'm down with it.
Did you see the replay?
Yeah.
He kind of stuck his head into the wall.
It's amazing. He was like a prime Ronaldo right there. No, that play is all credit to Maul. The way he plays, the passion, the energy, the physicality. If he's not pressuring the way he is, that play never happens, and who knows what happens at the end of the game. So that's Jamal Adams.
Have you ever had a soccer header interception?
I've had some good ones. Not as high as that one though. That one got up a little bit.
Did you see it go off Jamal, or when did you first kind of start?
No, not at all. I'm backside of the play, and you just see a ball in the air, and you dream of moments like that just to get you one. First pick is a Seahawk, and so that was. Thank you, Jamal Adams.
You mentioned a couple weeks ago, as well as the defensive play, you said the one thing kind of missing, you hadn't got the takeaways you guys wanted. How big is it to get 3 of them today?
That's big. That's the standard. Coach Hurt sets. We had 2 early, and there's some more opportunities out there, and so that's where we're striving. We're trying to get that turnover margin where we want it, and that's just going into week in, week out with that mindset.
You've now played 4 games with Jamal and Quandre. Where do you feel like that is progressing now that you guys have gotten some in-game action?
I think it's a really good package when we're all out there at the same time. Jamal does certain things well. Q does certain things well, and I just feel like the glue. I just, feed off those guys, their energy, their intensity, their passion for the game, and they make my job way easier. And so just being next to them, I feel like the standard is so high. I'm just trying to live up to how they play and how they are known in this league, and so it's done nothing but elevate my game.
We told Pete that you guys were in first place, and he wasn't aware of it. He was kind of taken aback by it. Yeah, maybe. But to be there after that Rams game, you guys kind of seemed like the sky was falling. Maybe not in you guys' locker room, but to everyone else.
Yeah. It's all mindset. Who we were going into that week 1 is not who we are now. We understand what it takes to win in this league. And that's the goal that we set to win NFC West since forever, I'm sure. But that was, that was said to me early when I signed. And so it's week, whatever it is, 8, 7, something. It's a long season. And so, it's good to be sitting at the top right now, but we have a lot of division games and a lot of games left.
Julian, what are you seeing from the guys up front, just in terms of that line, and how is that helping you all in pass coverage and also run defense?
Those guys are balling. The best coverage is rush, and we lost a extremely talented, just leader on this team with Uchenna, and the guys are just rebounding and feeding off of that. Guys stepping up. Obviously, we signed Frank, and the guys up front have been eating. They play with some fire, and so it makes the secondary's job easy.
They were able to hit you with the screen game a fair amount today. What did you see that sort of allowed them to have that much success?
Yeah, game plan wise, going into this game, we knew that they were effective screen team. They were effective at the run game. They have one of the best O-lines in football right now. They have some talented skill players, and so we knew what was going to happen, but they were able to execute. They had some good new looks out there, and that's a good football team. That's going to happen. They made plays. We made plays. But yeah, we got to shore that up, and that's just a building block. It's great to get a win after them executing so many screens the way they did, and so now we have to learn and just progress.
Before that third down play, they called timeout and everything. But, the way they've been running the ball, were you surprised at all they threw it there, or what were you guys thinking?
The pick play?
Yeah.
A little bit, especially that pass concept. Their identity is kind of ground and pound football. For that quick game, I think it was slant and flat, and slant flat to the boundary as well. Yeah, unusual, but it definitely was a change-up, and so that's what they expected. And thankfully, Jamal Adams is coming head first to get the ball.
Anything else? Thank you.
I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
How you feeling, Jamal?
Feel great. Got to win, so that's all that matters.
Can you take us through the interception?
Yeah, man. Honestly, I got that from Messi. I was just coming on a blitz. Great call by Coach Hurt and Pete, and obviously, it had to make something happen. Obviously, we needed the ball back, and seeing the guard kind of pull and jumped as high as I could, and luckily, I pulled it off, man, right off the head.
Have you had a deflection off your head before?
Yeah, when I dropped the pick. So, it came back in my favor, man. So, I'm grateful. Messi taught me that one again. So,
Julian called it Ronaldo.
hey, Ronaldo, Messi, whoever you want to call it, it doesn't even matter, man. As long as we got the win.
Julian said he was kind of surprised that they ran the play they did there. They threw
Right.
the ball.
Yeah, obviously, we thought they were going to run the ball because they had us on our toes. Obviously, just coming out, they were getting a lot of chunk yards, and but hey, they passed it on that, and we had a great call for it, and we made a play.
Jamal, you've been through a lot over the last year. You were telling us about that the other day. What does it mean to make a play like this?
Oh, man, just grateful, man. God is good. I want to do whatever I can just to help the team win, and that's what it's about. It's not about anything. I'm not trying to make it about me or whatnot, but it's definitely been hard. Still a long process. Just got to continue to grind with it. But man, I'm just grateful just to be here. Grateful to be with my teammates, and grateful to get a win.
Just to clarify, did you intentionally put your head down, or did you just see the ball?
No. I definitely didn't. Try to put my hands up. Obviously, again, just went right off my helmet, and it was in the air for a long time. So I'm just glad we came down with it, switched the game, flipped the field, and our offense went down and put a hell of a drive together and scored.
What did Geno Smith show you in a game like that where maybe things aren't going well for a lot of the game, and then when you need it most?
Just grit, perseverance, and obviously just the finish. That's what we preach over here, man. We're never out of it until the last ending is done. Once that time clicks off, that's the end of the game. But as long as we have time on the clock, we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight to the end.
Big picture, beating a team like that is so good at running the football and kind of grind games out. And how big is a win against an opponent like that in the scheme of things?
That's a great football team over there. Offense, defense, special teams. They're well coached. Obviously, we knew going into it they were going to run the football. It's a gritty group, very aggressive, downhill, attack mode, and we had a couple little wrinkles in there that we didn't fit right, including myself. So we just got to get better as far as in the run game and slow some of those leaky yardage down. But for the most part, man, we figured them out and we shut them down. Appreciate it.
Three turnovers for you guys, including your sack fumble. How big are those takeaways for the defense today?
It was
was big. I think earlier in the week, that's the number that we wanted to get. We know they got a good defense over there, and so it was going to take 3 to get the win, and so glad that we accomplished that.
What were you seeing on some of the screen plays they were running?
What'd you say?
What were you seeing on some of the screens that they were running?
That was the problem we wasn't seeing. And so they did a good job running the screens today. They was catching us in some pressures where we were blitzing or catching us when we were in zone coverages or whatever. They did a good job on that end. So that's one area we got to get better at.
Your sack and in fumble and all that, just I guess take us through that play. What happened there?
I think they messed up the protection or whatever. They let me run free, and so just went and made a play.
When you're that free, are you aiming for the ball too? Because you know you've got the sack.
Yeah, I mean it depends on where the quarterback's at, and he had his back turned, and so got to get the ball out if he can't see me coming.
What's Boye been showing you? 5 straight games with a sack, he had 8 tackles today. What's he brought?
He's been growing up. He's been growing up. He's been taking a big step from where he was last year, and so it's pretty cool to see his growth and just the player that we all know that he is, that he's becoming right now.
What's this comeback been like for you, Jordan? You played, less than 8.5 months after the surgery, looking as good as ever. What's it feel like to you?
It feels good. It feels real good. Like I say, man, it's all because of God put me in position to do so. And so, like I told you guys last week, just playing with these guys, man, I've been having a blast. Like, seriously, like having fun. And so I'm just thankful and appreciative where we are and where I'm at right now.
Thanks for appreciate it.
How we doing?
Hey, Can you just take us through the touchdown to Jackson there at the end, kind of how that play developed?
Yeah, they blitzed the slot. Jackson had an adjustment on his route, which he did a great job at, seeing that. Was able to get the ball out to him in space. He's a very dynamic player in space. I thought DK, what about his block, right? Like, he gets an assist on that play for just a great block, and then Jackson finishing it off in the end zone. Big for him, big for the team. It's great to pull that win out.
We've asked this many times, many other quarterbacks over the years. What about the 2-minute drill gets you going? You went 3 for 3 to start that last drive.
I think it's first of all, talk about the way that we prepare. Coach puts us in that situation every single day in the VMAC, so it's not something that we're not used to. And I think Coach Carroll does a great job at making sure that we're always ready for 2 minutes. So when we go out there, it's just another day for us. It's just like another standard practice. And it's key. It's going to be a passing situation. The D line's going to be getting off the ball. You got to get the ball out fast, and you want to start with that first completion. But it takes everybody all 11, and I feel like in the 2 minute, we're just passing the ball and we're just doing what we're good at, and so we just wanted to go out there and make things happen.
How do you feel you played today?
I feel like if I look at my game, if I being totally honest with you, take away 2 plays, 3 plays, and we're talking about a really good game. But obviously you can't eliminate those. Those things happen, and again, that's something that I've been trying to be better at. not having those mistakes, because those can hurt us. And I feel like our team is such a scrappy team. We find ways to win no matter what. But I feel like if I can play up to my capabilities, play up to my standard, who knows? Like I said, where we can be, because we're one of the best teams in football if we play right.
What's the key in a day that maybe everything's not going great for you to ignore it and have that drive at the end of the game?
Yeah, it's a collective effort. A lot of guys stepped up today. Tyler gave us a little bit of a pep talk on the sideline. On that last drive, Jason Peters, he stepped in there. He said something, it was like, this is what we practice and prepare for all week, to get these wins and to be in these moments. And so it's a collective effort, but it takes a ton of resiliency, a bunch of guys going out there and just fighting to the end and just believing. And so that's all it took today is just us believing and fighting to the end.
What did you see in that stretch? I think you guys had 6 possessions where you had 4 3-and-outs and then a couple picks. Were they changing up what they were doing on the other side, or did you?
No, I think overall, man, I think they just made some great plays. The one interception to DK, the last play of 2 minute, guy undercuts it, makes a great play. D lineman drops out. We're throwing a hot route. He tips the ball up to himself. This is the NFL, one of the best defenses in football. We knew we were going up against a really good defense, and they made some plays. They really did. Hats off to the Browns. They're a really good team. But, we are too. And so when you have those type of battles, man, it's going to be back and forth. You can expect that. But, the ultimate thing is to get the win. And so I think we did a great job at fighting to the end.
Jason Peters. It's pretty wild to be in the huddle with the guy in his 20th NFL season out there playing tackle.
Man, he looks just like it's the first one, man. That guy is the ageless wonder. I can't believe it. His 20th season. He actually probably played against Seattle with the throwback jersey. So, just a special guy, man. And I think he's had a hell of a career, but he's still out there battling like it's his first game.
Did you think you had a free play on the interception towards DK?
No, not at all. I was just throwing it in rhythm. Guy did a good job undercutting it, and he made a play. I can get the ball out faster or maybe lead him more to the sideline. But I didn't see a flag thrown, so I didn't think free play.
Can you tell us about the Bobo rushing touchdown? Have you guys been planning that play for a little while there?
Yeah, we've been practicing that. Bobo, again, just a dynamic player, can be used in a multitude of ways, so versatile. I thought it was a great call by Shane right there. They were actually calling for the sneak, expecting a quarterback sneak, and then we hit him with a quick jet sweep, and Bobo puts his foot in the ground, goes in there, gets is tough, and scores that touchdown. And I think, like I said, man, great call by Shane, great blocking up front, and then Bobo did his thing.
And he and JSN now have touchdowns 2 straight weeks. The rookie wide receivers, what have you seen out of them lately?
Yeah, it's what we talked about, right? The process and them just staying in the moment, staying with the process. Early on in the season, things, weren't going as great for them. Obviously, like I said, we knew we were going to have more opportunities to get them the ball, and they were going to be able to step up, and I think they did.
Is the shirt, is that part of the 90s team?
Yeah, old school theme.
On the it's not an interception, but were you and Jackson just not on the same page? It was like an out.
Yeah, that's something that we got to clean up. I just got to be clearer with him in the huddle to make sure that we're on the same page, and I'll do a better job with that.
After the games, is the message from Pete or Shane or whoever been kind of what you've been telling us? Take out a couple plays and just play.
Yeah, it is, and it's hard. It's the NFL. It's never going to be easy, and 1 or 2 mistakes can cost you the game. But the reality is that we figured it out today and we got it done.
What do you think about your run game and then the combination of Walker and also Zach Charbonnet and why that challenges defenses?
Yeah, I think you got a perfect mixture with those two guys. Ken is the guy who's going to make you miss. He can make you miss in the phone booth. You saw that first run he had. He's got speed. He's got agility, and then he's powerful. He can drop the hat on you. And then you look at Zach and you think, well, power back, but he's also shifty. So you got two guys who. Either one of those guys can get out the backfield and catch. They're great in pass protection. And then with the ball in their hands in space, they're just as dynamic as can be. And so just really, really good to have those guys and great to be a part of this offense with them.
Does it feel good to kind of return the favor to the defense, with that final touchdown based on how they've been playing lately?
Of course. Our defense is playing lights out football, and we got to continue to, reward those guys because, they're really one of the better defenses in football. We've got a chance every single week when we have that type of defense, and so we know that once we get out to a lead and we score points, they're going to be able to pass rush. Today we let them back in the game because we weren't consistent throughout. But if we can be consistent and continue to put up points, man, we'll be pretty good.
Going away from the running game there. Most of all into the fourth quarter. Is that more of what Cleveland was giving you? You're taking that rather than how did run game disappear?
I think it's just a result of circumstance. Shane always does a great job at having a feel for what they're giving us. And, we needed to get some things going. And so usually when that happens, Shane's going to either put the ball in my hands or, obviously get the ball to Ken or Zach or one of our running backs. So it was just a circumstance, just a circumstantial thing. And overall, like I said, man, if it's pass or run, we got to execute. And so I felt we did a good job today.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Snap.
How did it feel to get your first pick of the season?
Honestly, it felt good, man. Sometimes you really get opportunities, and this year I feel like, I've really been getting opportunities. Sometimes they throw my way like once or twice a game. So honestly, it just felt good to get an interception. It was a great call, and tips and overthrows got to get those.
Were you worried they were going to take it away?
No, I knew I had caught the ball, and I knew I was down on the ground. I had elbow, knees, all that on the ground. So I knew I was down. It's just the fact that they got the review, be all dramatic and stuff like that.
You weren't a big fan of the hands of the face call. What did the official have to say about that?
Nah, because when you out there playing physical and you out there just being yourself and playing your game, certain stuff like that happens, but I thought it was a clean play, and, they see different things from up top and, whatever the refs see, but, that's a play I'd like to have back, but, at the same time, we still went and got an interception with Jay Love, so it was an even greater moment.
What was your view of that interception, just how long it was in the air and everything off Jamal's helmet?
Shoot, I was hoping somebody on our team got it. It felt like it was like a movie. Everything was just in slow motion. I was looking at the ball in the air, and it was just falling so slow. And I just seen 20 jump and get it, and I was happy. And I knew once we did that, the 12s was going to rally behind, and our offense, they played pretty well today. And I knew that if we gave them a chance, they can go do their thing.
With those illegal hand penalties, do you feel like with you being a bigger corner that maybe you might be a little more under the microscope for calls like that?
A little bit. Last year, I didn't really have too much of that problem. It felt like I only got like one of those penalties. So we'll just have to see. But, it just happens because I'm a taller guy, like you said, and long arms. So sometimes you just shoot these long arms, and it may hit a guy. But at the end of the day, I just play my game, and we just go to practice and clean it up.
You got the three safeties on the field. What kind of multiplicity does that give you guys on defense?
It does a lot of things. It gives offenses different looks, It shows that at the same time we just play off each other whenever you can have three safeties, go in and out the game, rotate and stuff like that. So it helps us out tremendously. And those three safeties are some of the best safeties in the league. And having them back there with you, it makes the job easier, and it helps with communication throughout the defense.
How does that make your job easier?
Sure. Knowing that I ain't got to make as much tackles, but also, knowing that they just know their jobs. These guys are vets. They've been in the league for a long time. And a young guy like me, it's my second year. Having guys like them, it helps me out because it shows, what I can learn from them, off the field and on the field. And so far throughout the season, I've been picking new things up. And having those guys is really a blessing.
Your draft class came in, made a lot of noise last year. What's it like seeing another rookie class come in and do what all those guys are doing?
Honestly, it's pretty cool. I like it because it gives me flashbacks of the old Seahawks team. They had a class of Russ, I think, and then they had like another class, didn't they? Like around that time, and they went on and made a legacy for themselves. So I feel like we can, if not reach that level or beyond that level, we just can continue to work, continue to play as a team, continue to play off each other, and get closer as as a family. And having that extra class come in here, it shows that the culture throughout that building, it works. And whatever the coaches are teaching us, coaching us, we just buy into it and do our thing.
Anything else? Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it. Oh, and boo.
How we doing?
How you doing? How are you?
Good.
First of all, where'd you get the hat?
Simple Seattle. Check them out. Really good stuff there.
5 straight games with the sack. What's clicking right now with you?
Just honestly, just figuring out what my game is right now. Understanding that every situation, every person you go against, tackles, they're all different. So just preparing myself and really knowing that in the league now, what's going to happen. And the biggest thing is understanding like what I have done is one thing, but I have to prepare to continue and trying to maintain this stride that I have right now.
Are you seeing more attention with chips and stuff since you've been hot lately?
Yeah, definitely. There's a little bit of difference. You have to prepare on how to play off of the chips and how to put yourself in a position to still be effective. Regardless of the chips, regardless of the ways they may use to nullify your pass rush.
Sack and 8 tackles for you, a bunch of quarterback hits. Darrell Taylor had the sack play. Do you feel like you all kind of collectively have to step up with Chen out?
I mean, we definitely do. I mean, he was a big part of our defense. There's a reason that he was that guy for us. And it's not even just how he played. It's also the mentality he had and the mental aspect of the game. Being out there with him, he's one of those people that could give you tips and tendencies. So just being out there with him was easy. And now we just have to find a way to step up as a whole group and figuring out how we're going to adjust our roles and make sure that we can be those players.
Wins are wins in this league, but how does getting a victory against a team like that is going to play smash mouth football and they're going to play physical, how does a win like that stack up when you're trying to position yourself to be able to make a noise in the NFC in the division?
I mean, it's a big one. We always told ourselves, especially, as of last year, we wanted to improve our run game. And knowing what type of team this was and what type of team they would be bringing in here, we had to be prepared to, for the run game. And that's one thing that they strive on, and that's one thing they've been had success on. So we had to figure out a way to nullify that and get into our type of game. And I feel as if we had the opportunity to do that in the game. And, really, they had some runs that got on us, but just for the most part, we actually had held them down to, I feel, a really good number.
The standard of getting 3 turnovers, again, how often is Clint enforcing that? Is that every day?
Yeah, 100%.
But what feels different for you this season compared to last season? We hear about guys, making second-year jumps for whatever reason. What do you think it is that's clicking for you right now?
I mean, as of last year, it was one thing, I was a rookie coming in, understanding the game. And then all of a sudden, you're going into your second year, you have a plan, you have a whole off season. Now I know what to expect, and now I know how much time I have to prepare. So honestly, going in from last season to this season, I took that time to really reflect on my game, reflect on what things I need to, how to get comfortable out there. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've noticed. Definitely the biggest thing for me is that the comfortability when I'm on the field, all of a sudden you hit an inside move and then boo, you're there at the quarterback.
And with Namosa going down, do you feel like you sort of have to step up to pick up some of that slack?
I mean, it's as a group we have to. What I'm saying? Once we lose somebody as a group, we have to understand that roles are different and situations are different. So he was like I said, a big factor. So have to be able to step up as a whole group. It's not just one player taking on the whole role. We have Darrell Taylor, we have Derek Hall. Derek Taylor is actually stepping into this role, and he's really stepping up. He had another sack today. So as a group, we have to pick up and make sure that we can uphold our end of the deal.
When you're comfortable out there, just going back a moment there, are you then less thinking about the play and just reacting and making the play?
Yeah, definitely. When you can see things, you kind of, football's one of those things where it's art, what I'm saying? There are certain movements and certain things that have to happen in a play. And when you see it, you kind of can see the play unfold before it happens.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
What up?
Gino said you had some words maybe for the offense kind of before that last series, just about what you guys needed to do there.
Yeah, I mean, when we brought everybody up, the biggest thing was just telling everybody to breathe, telling everybody to relax, because I think we had about three and outs in a row. And sometimes you can find yourself pressing, trying to be able to get out of the element mentally, because it's like, bro, what's going on? Like, we got to figure this out. And so just making sure, like, we reel everybody back. And, we were able to go out there, execute, and Jack scored us the winning touchdown.
When you're saying that, what's the reaction? Are they just staring at you, or do you get a reaction?
I mean, they looking at me, but I'm trying to make sure I don't sound stupid, because I got to remember what I'm trying to talk about. So, I mean, it seemed like everybody listened, they understood, and it wasn't like one of those moments, like I said, where we were pressing or we were out of it. The defense did a great job just keeping us in the game. Even though, the team was able to do great with their third downs on the other side, defense allowed it to be field goals and not touchdowns, and so that keeps us into the game.
In those situations, in 2 minutes drill, how big is the first play? To get the first complete?
I think the first play is pretty big because it gets you in rhythm. It makes you be like, okay, now we're in it, let's go, rather than we got to try to find a play that works to be able to get us started. So, I mean, I think anybody would like 2nd and short or 2nd and 5 rather than 2nd and 10.
What's Geno Smith show you in a game like that where maybe it hasn't been the best game for a couple quarters and then he goes out and leads that drive?
I think the thing that you learn with Geno is just resilience. I mean, at the end of the day, like, if we lose, then we're going to lose fighting and we're going to lose trying. We're not going to sit here and say, man, I wish I would have did this and I wish I would have did that. And so regardless of what happens, it's like, man, we rocking with you. So if it don't work out, you see the defense does a great job, field goal, like moving on. So now we still got an opportunity as an offense, and that's how the NFL works. It's not one-sided where offensively we're doing great, but defensively isn't. It's like we got to make sure that we have each other's backs. And so I think that the defense did a great job with that. And then Geno, he led us down there, allowed us to be able to score. And, yeah, those are things that we could coach about or whatever on Monday. But when we're in the game, none of that stuff matters. It's like, how can you, like, forget what just happened and then get back into that mindset where you're like, I'm going to keep attacking. And that's exactly what he did.
What did you feel? Did anything really change after the first few series? I mean, you score 17 points for 3 possessions and don't score again, basically, until the end of the game.
I mean, I think, the thing that changed is just, we had a groove and we were continuing to move on with that groove. And then it was like, something happened. Or we made a big play and then it was a flag. And so I think, we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. It's hard to tell kind of like if it should have been a flag or what the case was. But we could do better at not putting ourselves in that situation. And so I think for us, I mean, we see what we can be when we hit the ground running, and then we see what we can be when we're stagnant. And like I said, defense did a great job keeping us in it. But for us as an offense, going where we want to go, we got to make sure that we play 4 full quarters.
What do you make of what Bobo is doing? Comes in here as an undrafted rookie with the 40 time that got all the attention, and now he's being a big contributor for you guys?
Man, Bobo's taking advantage of his opportunities. He's doing everything the coaches is asking him to do and more, and that's what you want to be able to see in a rookie. Like I said, he treats himself mentally. You would think he was a vet when you just watch him because he's like one of the last ones to lead a facility. He's always in there taking care of his body. And honestly, that's something that's hard to be able to understand when you're a young guy because when you're young, you could just go out there and run. You don't even need to stretch. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's funny because now I'm 31 and I'm like, ooh, I need to go do some treatment just before I go practice. But, for him, he's already doing it. He's doing whatever it takes to mentally get right, physically get right. He's catching jugs. He's doing everything that you would want to see a receiver do, and I'm glad that it's paying off for him and it's working out.
You mentioned your age and whatever there, but I mean, you've been on the injury report the last couple of weeks, questionable and stuff like that. I mean, is this a tough stretch for you right now at all, or with whatever you're dealing with? Or?
No, I just think that, they've been doing a good job taking care of me and stuff like that, and for me, it's just trying to make sure that I do the things that I need to do essentially to make sure that I'm right. And so, shout out to our shout out to our athletic training staff. They do a great job. They have great plans for us. And a lot of it is just being conservative, making sure that I'm good, stuff like that. It's not really like nothing crazy going on, you know what I mean? But, they do a great job in making sure that I'm still available and still able to come out here and play.
You mentioned doing that at 31. Can you imagine being in the trenches at 41 like Jason Peters?
That's another story. 41 years old, still in the trenches, still playing at a high level, he can have that.
Anything else? Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, I'll see y'all later. I'm about to take my little boo thing out.